Hello everybody, this is Gregory with 5 Minute Catholic Apologetics, where 5 minutes of your time it may get you to the divine. Today we're going to talk about the science of hymns, or hymnody, and talk about some ways we can fix it for the better. Now before we begin, let's start with a prayer. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritui Sancti. Amen. Pater noster qui es in caeli, sanctificetur nomen tuum, adveniat regnum tuum, fiat voluntas tua sicut in cielo et in terra. Panem nostrum quotidianum de nobis hodie, dimita nobis debita nostra, secuta nos dimitimus debitoribus nostris, et ne nos inducas in tentationem, sed libera nos a malo. Amen. Sometimes I like to mix it up. All right, so today we're going to talk about 7 suggestions for fixing Catholic hymns or hymnody. I touch upon this in Liturgical Abuses That Drive Me Crazy, Part 1. And I think the focus and goal, and this is all out of Christian charity, and this is all really directed toward liturgical experts and liturgical consultants and so forth, is that we want to make the Mass better. And one of the ways you can make a Mass become distractful or just take away from the holy sacrifice of the Mass. Remember, it is still a sacrifice, despite the fact that we've kind of had this paradigmatic shift for like 50 years, is the music. So the music's important. So let's just get to it. 7 things. Number 1, just throw out every hymn that was written after 1960. Just throw it out. Growing up with Glory and Praise Volume 2, I could say like a lot of those were written by Jesuits, and we know what happened to the Jesuits, and a lot of them are just horrible. Melodically, they're horrible. Yes, I Am the Bread of Life, great song. People will sing that. Even the men will typically sing that, even that high note. But as a whole, a lot of them are, I would say, theologically hazardous. We get a lot of the banquet, table of plenty. You'll even hear Amazing Grace sang at Catholic Masses. So a lot of the problems with the hymns of the last 60 years is that they're theologically fraught with major problems. If you look at the hymns before 1960, I mean, some of these were composed by some of the greatest Catholic composers and lyricists. And a lot of the melodies were done by, like Bach, for example, is that they were much more Catholically, dogmatically true, right? We didn't have to worry about that. Also, you saw a lot more songs that were martial, like men love martial songs, go into battle with your armor and all these things. We just kind of got rid of all those things. So I just think it's safe to just throw out everything that was written after 1960. Yes, you're going to throw out some good songs that are fine, but I'm tired of singing to dance, dance, wherever we may be, I am the Lord of dance. I don't need Protestant songs in my holy sacrifice. I went to Mass, a Novus Ordo Mass, with a convert, and she was like, oh, we sing this at my old Protestant services, and I was just like, pale. Not surprised, of course, but pale. Number 2, throw out the piano. Not only just throw out the piano, throw out the guitar, throw out the mariachis, throw out the bass, throw out anything that is not an organ. Again, Protestants go to a Catholic Mass, and they're like, wow, this is kind of worse music than we have, but yeah, I can relate to this. Throw it all out. I don't need to feel like Simon and Garfunkel are going to make a cameo at the end of Mass. I'm tired of Carole King-esque 1970s folk music being played at the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass. I'm tired of it. Or just bad Protestant music. And I'm getting credit to the Protestants when I say it's bad Protestant music. I can listen to Christian radio stations that will have better pop Christian music than what I hear in Novus Ordo Catholic Masses. Not all Novus Ordo, let's be fair. But you're not going to see them at the TLM or the Ordinariate. So when we're talking about this, just throw it out. All we need is the organ. We've had the organ forever. The organ is capable of doing so many different sounds. We only need an organ. Throw everything out. It vitiates, it contaminates the beauty of the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass, and it's not sacred music. And even in Vatican II, I think it was, I talked about it. I can't remember what, it's not Lumen Gentium. It's one of the doctrines that came out, or one of the documents that came out of Vatican II that said we still need sacred music. And I hate to tell you, Protestant pop band music is not sacred. Number 3, please stop clapping. Please stop clapping. The choir's job is to encourage us to sing and to sing for the greater glory of God. They are not there to perform. They are not performing for us. Now, sometimes the choir directors will forget this. It drives me crazy at the end, or even after their solo, their third solo during communion. It's the holy sacrifice of the Mass. I just need to get a t-shirt. That's going to be the first t-shirt I'm going to sell. It's the holy sacrifice. No clapping. This is not the Kennedy Center. Please. How about number 4? Why don't you sing in a key that men can hit? A lot of these liturgical directors, like I knew some of them in college, and let's just say they were a part of the Crimson Mafia. But a lot of them were just like, yeah, let's just put the key really high so no man, unless he's a castrati, can hit these notes. If you make songs impossible for men to sing, men are not going to try it. They're not going to try it. Maybe that's what you want. I don't know. I went to a Jesuit school in the 80s, and yes, this was the post-Vatican II Jesuits, but to be fair, we used to sing Laudate Dominum. And Laudate Dominum, all the teenage boys would Laudate Dominum, Laudate Dominum, omnes gentes. I mean, we would just sing that 10 minutes. No one would get tired of it because it's a beautiful song, it's sung at the right key, and it's just gorgeous. So, sing in keys that men can hear and sing and hit. Number 5, how about let's just have some silence? Why do we feel the need, going back to this, to have 3 communion hymns? Why do we feel the need? Juxtapose this. Go to a TLM. TLM is silent. Like they'll have hymns. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes they just have like the little organ in the background just playing a note. And sometimes, heaven forbid, silence. It's okay to have silence after communion. We don't need the solo. We don't need the woman that's trying to be Renee Fleming. We don't need that. We can have silence. People like to pray. Sometimes in silence. It's okay, choir directors. Silence is golden, like we say at the movie theater. What else? How about we have the choir in the back? Why do we... this bothers me. There's a couple things. Okay, so we have post-Vatican II architecture. Go to that book. I recommend Michael Rose's Ugliest Sin. Talks about how dioceses hired Protestant architects to create more Protestant churches. I mean, it's well footnoted in this book. But I get it on one level. If you're in one of these octagonal churches where there is no back, I get that on one level. Still, put them in another room and then feed a mic through. I don't know. But this goes back to, I've seen churches where the choir is right next to the altar. Like they're almost competing. No. The choir is better to be heard and not seen. And what's even more egregious, I find, in my opinion, of course, is when you have churches that are in the basilica style where they do have a choir loft, yet the choir is still near the front. Why? You have a perfectly good choir loft in the back. There's a reason why they had choir lofts in the back. Acoustically, it sounds great. Second, the church knew for centuries, we don't need to see it. The choir is not important. That's not their job to be seen in. No, move the choir out of the way. We always joke about how we put the tabernacle in a closet. Nobody puts baby in a corner, to quote Dirty Dancing. How about we put the choir in that closet, feed a mic through so we can hear them, and bring the tabernacle back into the church? Heaven forbid. Guys, these are just a couple of things. Look, we all know, we've all been to all different stripes of masses where the music can be great and ethereal and sublime and lends to prayer. And we've all been to masses where the music is horrendous. So if we know this, why do we still feel like we're in 1975 Haight-Ashbury? Why do I still feel that way? So let's just get rid of all these things. Make music what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to complement the Holy Sacrifice of Mass, and that's supposed to be the centerpiece. And we shouldn't be singing songs that contradict Catholic dogma. Do I need to say this? Either way, post in the comments. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Hit the notification button so these episodes come fresh to you and share with others. Until next time, take care. God bless.